Happy New Day, guys. Talking about trust. One of the things that I've realized or I've come to learn is how we are so quick to want to forgive others, especially in friendships. We forgive so-called friends for betraying us. And it starts with the small betrayals. It starts with the very small betrayals. And we forgive. Our lovers, our partners, we forgive. We forgive after they have broken our trust, after they've crossed the line. Because when you start to know someone, you start from a clean slate, right? You start off just from trusting. As they say, the only way to know whether to trust someone or not is to just trust them. That's how it starts. I realize how we are so quick to want to be good people by allowing people space in our lives to try and regain the trust that has already been broken by them, And for trust to be broken, it's a choice. Someone chooses to do that. And then we decide what to do with that after, right? We fail to trust ourselves. We fail to want to trust ourselves more. We'd rather give the space to trying to trust others. I'm saying this because I believe that I truly believe that when someone in your life shows you that they can't trust you, that is you speaking to yourself. That is you showing yourself that you should not trust that person. So we don't trust ourselves in most cases. We fail to trust ourselves. We fail to trust the communication that our beings. We are so quick to want to work on trusting people more. And we are taught that, where sometimes you can be told that you don't trust people. You don't trust people enough. But for a person to reach a point of not trusting people enough is because they've gone through a phase where they did trust and the trust was broken. So our beings speak to us in every step of our lives, in every step of our day, in every thought, in every feeling, in every sound, in every word. Your being speaks to you, right? It's that whole misconception of butterflies when it's just a trigger response. It's your body, your muscle memory, even your soul memory, reminding you that we've been here before, it didn't work out well. The same happens with trust. Be it friendships. Let's talk friendships. Okay. Besides, let's leave the partner thing. You can relate it to that if you choose. Let's talk about the relationships that are mostly abused, and these are friendships. Because with friendships, this is where we are more forgiving. This is where we are more tolerable. We are more tolerable of friends than we are of family members. We want to work at having friends around more than we do family members in most cases, right? Because we're living in a society that has trained us to believe that we need to have friends. because we always just trying to imagine our funerals, and no one wants to imagine their funeral being empty and no one being there. How petty, ne? But what I'm trying to say is, we don't trust ourselves. That's why we are always just willing to work at trusting others after they've betrayed us, especially after they betrayed us, because the only way to know if you can trust someone is to just trust them. That's how you test trust, if someone is trustworthy. That's also how I go about it. When I start to know someone, I start from a clean slate, and then I learn whether to trust them or not, right? So your being speaks to you in everything that you do. Your being speaks to you in everything that you do. And we betray ourselves. We don't trust ourselves. If you don't feel that you need to trust that person, it is your being speaking to you to say don't. You don't need to work on that. You don't need to work on that, because some of the things, yes, it could be someone that you just met and you're asking yourself, Uguti, but I have no reason not to trust this person. We have been here before. You have been here before. You've probably met this being in a past life and they did you dirty. I'm not saying go around not trusting people. I'm saying trust yourself enough to be okay with not trusting people. Like, we betray ourselves by wanting so much to work on trusting people. It should just be authentic from jump. If it's authentic from jump, it's going to be authentic throughout the whole relationship and friendship with that person, even when you disagree, even when you are not on the same page with things, but the authenticity will remain unwavered. But this thing of feeling that we need to work on trusting people again, that is you betraying yourself. That is you not trusting yourself. So our beings communicate with us all the time, and we are so good at ignoring this communication that we communicate to ourselves. We are always waiting for external communication to validate what our true beings are saying to us. We are the most honest to ourselves. You know, the journey of knowing self, the journey of understanding who you are, the journey of knowing self. And knowing self, yes, we speak of chakras and stuff, but that is a map to self. That is a map to self. You know, the journey of the up and down, the down and up, the up and down, the down and up. That serpent, that movement in you that allows you to go with the wind, to go with the flow, to adjust. That is exactly what I'm talking about. That is your being speaking to you. Knowing what the universe is saying to you, knowing what the universe is saying. That is Kundalini. That is you aligning your chakras. Aligning our chakras isn't just... Aligning our chakras is trusting ourselves. When your body speaks to you, it is all 7 of your chakras, if not 8, because there's the outside one, the ethereal one, speaking to you, communicating with you, telling you, sisters, brothers, something is up here. And when it speaks to you, the serpent being the Kundalini, because a snake is always spiraling. A snake is always spiraling. A snake can sit in any corner. A snake can find a spot anywhere. That is adjustment. That is why we honor the snake in spirituality. That is why religion tells you to fear the serpent. How can we fear something that God made as well? God didn't create the serpent just so that we can hate it. we also need to learn from it. So when you don't trust the communication of your being to yourself, you end up being in situations where you fail to love yourself. You fail to love yourself enough to end that relationship that is toxic. You fail to see the patterns of how you and this person just always end up being together. And then you see that message as a sign from God, the universe, and whatever, Badimu, saying you and that person are meant to be together. And all along, your true being, because you have been here before, you've probably been with that person before, is teaching you that it is time for this thing to end. This is what I mean by karma, karmic journey. It is time for this thing to end. You are here in this life right now, going through what you are going through with this person because it needs to end. Kundalini, chakras coming together, communicating with us to show us that something needs to change. So if we don't trust ourselves, if we don't know how to communicate with ourselves, if we don't know how to communicate with the universe within us, let alone understanding the universe above and around us, we're going to keep going through the same shit over and over again. We're going to keep meeting the same people over and over. We're going to keep attracting the same people over and over. This is what I mean by alignment, not meaning that things are working out for you. Even when things are not going okay, it is alignment, your self-alignment showing you that something needs to change. That's all I have to say today. Bye.